New York City's, just a few moments ago, the most earth-shattering trade in probably New York's basketball history, in NBA history in general. Craziness has just happened, and a soul has been ripped out our team. Let's talk about it. When Kevin Durant came to the Brooklyn Nets, he said he liked the team composition. He liked the build of the team. He said he liked the coach and the organization. Today we just found out all of that is a lie. The Nets are nothing that Kevin Durant joined. The Nets are now a thrown together group of mercenaries. I brought my boy Sam on this to try to make me, to reason with me on why that's not the case. Jared Allen is gone. Sam, you want to give the details of the trade? Do you got it in front of you?
Yeah, I actually do. So, I mean, obviously other stuff might come out, but so the Nets obviously get Harden. The Pacers are getting LeVert and a second-round pick. The Rockets are getting Oladipo, Dante Exum, Kurucs, 3 Nets first-rounders, and 1 Milwaukee first-rounder, as well as 4 Nets pick swaps. And the Cavs are getting Jared Allen and your favorite Taurean Prince.
That, if it doesn't work, is worse than anything Billy King ever did. If this doesn't work, and I'm never going to root against my team, but this is not my team. I don't know who these people are. What Sean Marks just showed us, my young Esquire, or my young future Esquire, let me not give you stuff you haven't earned yet. What the Nets have just told us is they didn't know what was wrong with them. They did the smart thing, right? We figured that's what they would do. They'd go into the season, see what they don't have, and then make a drastic move for Harden. That made sense to me. But if you watched what we've been watching, how could the brain trust, how could the people, the grown-ups sitting at the table that are laughing at novices like you and me, Sam, they're saying, look at those crazy people. And trust me, I've built an entire career on working for celebrities. My company, Plot Dev, was the preferred developers for Universal Music Group for many years. I got to be the fly on the wall of celebrity conversations when they talk about normal everyday people, normies or regular people. They know they're not regular people. And the regular people don't seem to know better than Sean Marks. Sean Marks seems to believe he could roll out if he could just have every single small ball conceptual piece possible, and he could make that work. If you looked at the last few games and looked at this situation with Kyrie and decide what the Nets needed to do is to get less deep, was to be more dependent on DeAndre Jordan, that's the goal, the Nets' future is maybe Joe Harris will get a touch. That record of a 3 in a game is over. He'll be lucky to get 3 shots a game now. And that's if Kyrie comes back. What the hell is going on with him? Sam, this whole situation is disheartening, man. Give me good news out of this.
No, all right. So I've actually made 2 because I have so many thoughts. So I was like, you know what? I have to write down a couple of things that are on my mind about this. So number one, I think me and you have been pretty consistent for a while. And let me first say, I mean, look, me and you were both wrong. We thought there was no chance that this type of deal would happen. But I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming at all. But
hold on one second. I want to make sure that what I think both of us was saying was no way this deal happens and they gut their team without knowing what they have. They hadn't played together. I have always known, and let me give you a series of events of today, how things have gone down. I have always been told from people who do know that the Nets want another superstar. There obviously must have been an argument in that room between do we need a superstar or do we stand pat with what we have? The argument for the superstar, because all of the stuff they have, they've had this stuff. If they were willing to give it away before it gets done. None of this is really new.
Yeah, I mean,
I say that to say, let me just wind down the point. Sorry, Sam. I say that to say, today, someone who knows told me that, this Harden stuff is real, and it's kind of known in NBA circles. And I was like, I took that information and I just didn't respond. And I wanted to say something, but I was like, nah. And then other people started, DMing me and hitting me on Twitter, and I didn't reply to any of them because I was just hoping that calmer heads would prevail and that this Harden thing wouldn't happen. And then now, seeing that it's happening, I'm shocked, man. I'm shocked. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I'm the same. I'm in the same place as you. I have a ton of thoughts on this. My first thought, my first initial thought about it is what I just don't really get at all. I truly do not understand is if you felt that it, and me and you have been in lockstep on this. The team obviously had like a couple of different moves it could make, right? Mm-hmm. And me and you were totally okay with trading some picks because we all were in agreement. Like they needed to make a trade that wasn't necessarily a win in the future, but is a win now. But like the notion that they needed to get another superstar when like look they just gave up you could honestly say that in this deal alone, right? They just gave up 9 assets. When you talk about the 4 pick swaps, the 3 picks, and the 3 unprotected picks, I should add, that Shams just said. There's no protections on them. And LeVert and Allen. And if you don't want to call Prince an asset, that's fine. If you don't want to call Kurucs an asset, that's fine. But they just gave up 9 assets for one guy. This team wasn't that far. This team isn't that far away. So like you could have used those different chips that they had. And so I'm repeating it again. We were fine with mortgaging some of the future picks because everyone understands that the NBA has windows. This isn't like the NBA is not the NFL, or it isn't the baseball where you can create some type of dynasty for like 10 years. There's no Patriots that's going to be happening in the NBA.
The Spurs.
I think
to a
that's,
lesser extent the Golden State Warriors.
I think that's pretty. I think with the way that player movement has now become, I think it's pretty unlikely. You have to have a cast of characters that I think it's safe to say the Nets don't have. That like you have to understand that they have to win now in order to do this. And so what I just don't get is like even if they had made a deal that was semi-similar to this for Beal, who they also don't need, like it would have cost less for sure. And I'm just blown away by the amount they gave up and by the fact that like if you were willing to give up all of these assets and you weren't that worried about it, then do like 2 picks and something here for one guy and do LeVert and another piece for somebody here. But like
and we don't know those deals were out there, right? I could say that, you know, it's most likely not possible to like I don't even see who the players are they would get. My only thing is, and I think it's the only thing we should be really trying to figure out is, are we even a better team? Is this a good team? And if it's a bad team, we're done for a long time. Like this is more damage than Billy King.
I disagree with you on that. I mean, it's not. It's.
I'm just talking about what's left.
Look, they're getting. I mean, they got a better. They're getting a much better player than anybody they got in the Billy King deal, and it's the same number of picks and swaps. So I do think that
it's 9 assets. That's. I don't think so. Here, you keep talking. I'll look up the Billy King trade.
Right in the sense that so you're right in the sense that the Nets deal. Look, the Nets Celtics trade didn't have the young asset stuff that this one obviously has. But I think Harden kind of cancels out a lot of that because Harden is obviously like a top 3 or 4 guy in the NBA. I have to tell you, I'm going to harp on this a decent amount. I'm just blown away by the fact that like that there weren't any more rumblings about them doing deals that involved picks and other players. Like you can get. Look, I don't love Jared Allen as much as you, and I don't probably love LeVert as much as whoever loves LeVert the most. But I value both of them. But you could have convinced me to deal them in the right trade. But what I don't understand is this like. I mean, at the deadline, you have a ton of times where contending teams. We see this every year. We see a pick for a solid fill-in guy, 2 picks for a solid fill-in guy. Look at what the Clippers did with the Knicks with the Marcus Morris deal. Like you see those things all the time happen.
I don't know how they improve. I don't know how they add things, and they have This has to work. This has to work. And it has to work for a long time.
Yeah, I mean okay. So the last part of what you just said is incredibly important because let's just say off the bat right now, if Harden has 2 years left, Durant has 2 years left, Kyrie has 2 years left. Durant and Kyrie and Harden all have an option after the year after that, but for all intents and purposes, they're basically all free agents relatively soon. I mean. This turns into a catastrophic nightmare if these guys aren't all in. And I mean, with the way that NBA superstars are, who the hell knows? And with where Kyrie Irving is, like, who the hell knows? And I mean, I don't know. I think the other thing that I wanted to say, which I know that you'll agree with, and I think it is something that speaking to Sean Marks and speaking to the loyal listeners that we have on the podcast, there's something to like this team that they currently have was a really good towing the line of having superstars while also still having a feel of the old Nets. You know what I mean? It's difficult to curate.
That's dead.
Right, and so it's difficult. Look, almost no team besides what the Thunder did years ago, and to a certain extent what Golden State did, has drafted guys and then created this culture through them. A lot of it involves some type of weaving in trades,